There is something happening behind closed doors that nearly every man over 60 thinks about but rarely discusses openly. You might be doing it daily, weekly, or avoiding it entirely because of fear and shame. The silence around this topic has created more problems than the behavior itself ever could. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most of what you have been told about masturbation is medically incorrect. These myths are not just embarrassing misconceptions, they are actively harming your health, your confidence, and your intimate relationships. I am Dr. Eva Hart, a certified urologist with 14 years of experience treating men over 60. In my practice, I have encountered countless patients who carry decades of shame about something that should be considered normal human behavior. Today, I am going to address the elephant in the room that most doctors avoid discussing. This is not a topic we usually talk about openly, but staying silent does more damage than having an honest conversation. Your questions deserve medical answers, not cultural myths passed down through generations of misinformation. In this video, I will debunk 6 dangerous myths about masturbation that are destroying men's confidence after 60. These myths have convinced millions of men that normal sexual behavior is harmful, shameful, or dangerous. This discussion is about more than physical function. This is about reclaiming your confidence, understanding your body, and recognizing that sexual health remains important throughout your lifetime. Stay with me until the end, because the final myth I reveal about testosterone could completely change how you view your hormonal health. If this topic resonates with you, share in the comments what concerns you most about this subject. If you feel uncomfortable discussing it, let me know what other men's health topics you would prefer to hear about. But first, let me tell you why this conversation matters more than you might realize. The benefits of healthy sexual expression extend far beyond the bedroom, especially for men navigating the changes that come after 60. Over 90% of men and 75% of women report masturbating regularly, yet this remains one of the most misunderstood aspects of human health. The benefits extend far beyond simple pleasure, particularly for men dealing with the physical and emotional challenges of aging. When you masturbate, your body releases a powerful combination of feel-good hormones: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. These natural chemicals improve mood, enhance sleep quality, and increase mental focus. For men over 60 dealing with retirement stress, health anxieties, or relationship changes, these natural mood enhancers can provide significant psychological benefits. People consistently report better sleep patterns after masturbation. This happens because orgasm triggers the release of prolactin and oxytocin, hormones that promote relaxation and drowsiness. Better sleep means better overall health, improved immune function, and enhanced mental clarity during the day. Masturbation represents the ultimate form of safe sexual expression. It allows you to experience pleasure while learning about your body's responses, preferences, and capabilities. This self-knowledge translates directly into better communication with your partner about what brings you pleasure and satisfaction. For many men over 60 who may be experiencing performance anxiety or physical changes, masturbation provides a low-pressure environment to maintain sexual function. You control the pace, the pressure, and the experience without worrying about pleasing a partner or meeting expectations. Regular sexual activity, whether partnered or solo, helps maintain healthy blood flow to sexual organs and keeps your sexual response system active. This is particularly important as we age and natural hormonal changes occur. Yet despite these clear benefits, dangerous myths persist that cause unnecessary shame and worry. Let me address the most persistent and harmful misconceptions that I hear in my practice every single day. The most persistent myth claims that masturbation causes blindness or makes hair grow on your palms. This is completely false and has no basis in medical science whatsoever. If this myth were true, considering that nearly 90% of the population masturbates regularly, we would live in a world filled with blind people sporting hairy palms. Obviously, this is not the case. These myths originated from religious and cultural leaders who viewed masturbation as sinful or representing a lack of self-control. While I respect individual religious convictions, these specific health claims contradict all medical evidence. persistence of this myth reveals how shame and misinformation spread when we avoid open discussions about normal human sexuality. Your eyesight remains completely unaffected by masturbation. Your palms will not sprout hair. Your physical health will not deteriorate from normal self-pleasure. Medical science has studied masturbation extensively, and no credible research has ever found connections between masturbation and vision problems, unusual hair growth, or any of the other bizarre side effects claimed by these myths. The real damage comes from believing these myths and carrying unnecessary shame about normal behavior. This shame can lead to anxiety, depression, and sexual dysfunction, problems that masturbation itself does not cause. Understanding the truth allows you to make informed decisions about your sexual health rather than living in fear of imaginary consequences. But there is another myth causing even more anxiety among men over 60, the fear that daily habits might be destroying their ability to function with a partner. I receive messages daily from concerned men asking, "Doctor, I masturbate regularly. Am I destroying my ability to have erections? Will this ruin my sex life with my partner?" This fear represents myth number 2, the belief that masturbation causes erectile dysfunction. Medical evidence shows exactly the opposite. Masturbation that leads to orgasm actually strengthens your pelvic floor muscles. These muscles play a crucial role in achieving and maintaining erections, as well as in reaching satisfying orgasms. Regular masturbation essentially provides exercise for these important muscles. When you masturbate regularly, you maintain active blood flow to your sexual organs and keep your sexual response system functioning. This is particularly beneficial for men over 60 who may be experiencing natural age-related changes in sexual function. However, I must address 2 important exceptions to this general rule. The first involves pornography consumption. We have witnessed an alarming increase in erectile dysfunction among younger men that directly correlates with the explosion in easily accessible online pornography. Excessive pornography use can desensitize your brain to normal sexual stimulation. Pornography often presents unrealistic depictions of sexual encounters, creating impossible expectations for real-life intimacy. This can trigger performance anxiety, which absolutely can cause erectile dysfunction. Many men become trapped in a destructive cycle. Anxiety about performance leads to difficulties achieving erections during partnered sex, which increases anxiety and makes the problem progressively worse. The irony is that men caught in this cycle can often achieve erections easily during masturbation when pressure and expectations are removed. This demonstrates that the physical capability for erections remains intact. The problem lies in psychological pressure and unrealistic expectations, not in masturbation itself. The second exception involves guilt and shame. If you experience intense guilt about masturbation due to personal or religious beliefs, this emotional distress can negatively impact your sexual function. Guilt and anxiety have been directly linked to erectile dysfunction, depression, and general sexual problems. It is perfectly acceptable to choose abstinence from masturbation if it conflicts with your personal values. However, if you want to address feelings of guilt while maintaining sexual expression, consider consulting with a counselor who specializes in sexual health and can help you work through these complex emotions. Key point remains: masturbation itself does not cause erectile dysfunction. In fact, it can help maintain healthy sexual function throughout your lifetime. This brings me to another widespread concern about sensitivity and sexual response. Many men worry that frequent masturbation reduces sensitivity and makes reaching orgasm more difficult. This represents myth number 3, and the reality is more nuanced than simply true or false. Your sensitivity does not decrease from normal masturbation frequency. However, technique matters significantly. If you consistently use the same method, pressure level, or type of stimulation, your body can become accustomed to that specific sensation pattern for reaching orgasm. This habituation means that different types of stimulation, such as what you might experience with a partner, can feel less intense or familiar, potentially making orgasm more challenging to achieve. The solution is not avoiding masturbation, but rather varying your technique and being mindful of pressure levels. Consider using techniques that more closely resemble partnered sexual experiences. Avoid excessive pressure or unusual gripping patterns that differ significantly from what you would experience during intercourse. Some men develop habits of using intense pressure or specific motions that create unrealistic expectations for partnered sex. Women face similar issues with vibrators that provide intense stimulation unlike what a partner can offer. Principle remains the same. Varied, moderate stimulation helps maintain responsiveness to different types of sexual experiences. The important message is that your sexual sensitivity is not fragile or easily damaged. Your body is designed to experience and enjoy sexual pleasure throughout your lifetime. With mindful attention to technique, you can maintain healthy sexual responses across all types of experiences. Your sexual organs are remarkably resilient and adaptable. You are not wearing them out or breaking them through normal use. But many men worry about frequency. Is there such a thing as too much masturbation? Can you masturbate too much? For the overwhelming majority of men, this is not a realistic concern. Even daily masturbation for pleasure, stress relief, or maintaining sexual function is completely normal and healthy. The only circumstances where frequency becomes problematic involve interference with daily life and responsibilities. Warning signs include feeling compulsive urges that you cannot control or resist, consistently choosing masturbation over important activities, neglecting work or family obligations, or avoiding intimacy with your partner specifically to masturbate instead. These behaviors suggest compulsive sexual behavior rather than healthy sexual expression. If you recognize these patterns, consider speaking with a healthcare provider who can help you address underlying issues. For most men, however, concerns about frequency are unfounded. Your body will naturally regulate sexual desire based on age, health, stress levels, and individual variation. Some men masturbate daily, others weekly, and some occasionally. All patterns can be completely normal. Interestingly, I sometimes recommend regular masturbation for specific medical conditions. Men with chronic pelvic pain syndrome or chronic testicular pain often benefit from regular sexual release as a stress management technique. The muscle contractions and hormonal changes associated with orgasm can help reduce chronic pain symptoms. For men over 60, regular sexual activity, whether partnered or solo, helps maintain healthy sexual function. Use it or lose it applies to sexual health just as it does to physical fitness. Regular sexual activity maintains blood flow, hormone production, and muscle tone in sexual organs. The shame around frequency often causes more problems than frequency itself. Men worry unnecessarily about being abnormal when they are actually maintaining healthy sexual function. This leads to another harmful myth about relationships and masturbation. One of the most damaging myths suggests that masturbation indicates relationship problems or reflects poorly on your love for your partner. This is absolutely false and causes unnecessary relationship conflict and personal guilt. Many people in committed, loving relationships masturbate regularly. This behavior has no correlation with relationship satisfaction, love for your partner, or the quality of your sex life together. Masturbation and partnered sex serve different purposes and meet different needs. Sometimes masturbation provides quick stress relief or helps with sleep when your partner is not available or interested. Other times, it allows you to explore fantasies or sensations that differ from your typical partnered experiences. These reasons do not reflect dissatisfaction with your relationship. Some couples even incorporate masturbation into their shared intimate experiences, either by masturbating together or by taking turns pleasuring themselves while their partner watches and participates. This can enhance intimacy rather than diminish it. Problems arise from secrecy and shame rather than from masturbation itself. When partners hide normal sexual behavior due to unfounded guilt, it can create unnecessary distance and suspicion. Open communication about sexual needs and behaviors typically strengthens relationships. Your desire for occasional or regular self-pleasure does not mean you find your partner inadequate or undesirable. It does not mean your relationship lacks intimacy or passion. These are separate aspects of human sexuality that can coexist harmoniously. Understanding this distinction can eliminate a significant source of relationship tension. When both partners recognize masturbation as normal and healthy, it removes potential conflicts and allows for more open sexual communication. This brings me to the final and perhaps most persistent myth, one that has convinced countless men to avoid normal sexual expression based on fears about their hormonal health. The final myth claims that masturbation depletes testosterone levels and reduces masculine energy and vitality. This belief has gained tremendous popularity, but it contradicts scientific evidence entirely. Research shows that testosterone levels actually increase during sexual arousal and masturbation. After orgasm, testosterone returns to baseline levels. It does not drop below normal ranges. Your body continuously produces testosterone, and normal masturbation does not interfere with this process. This myth has ancient origins. Greek and Roman athletes avoided sexual activity before competitions, believing that sexual frustration would make them more aggressive and competitive. Modern athletes have adopted similar practices, but scientific studies have not supported improved athletic performance from sexual abstinence. Some men report feeling temporarily less motivated or energetic immediately after orgasm. This is normal and relates to the natural hormonal and neurochemical changes that promote relaxation and satisfaction. This temporary state passes quickly and does not indicate testosterone depletion. If you have genuine concerns about low testosterone, these should be addressed through proper medical evaluation. Low testosterone can cause fatigue, reduced sex drive, mood changes, and other symptoms that significantly impact quality of life. However, masturbation is not the cause of these problems. Testosterone levels decline gradually with age in all men, but this natural process is not accelerated by masturbation. Factors that genuinely affect testosterone include obesity, lack of exercise, poor sleep, chronic stress, excessive alcohol consumption, and certain medical conditions. The fear of testosterone depletion has caused many men to avoid normal sexual expression unnecessarily. This avoidance can actually increase stress and anxiety, which do negatively impact hormonal health. Your hormonal health depends on overall lifestyle factors: maintaining healthy body weight, exercising regularly, getting adequate sleep, managing stress effectively, and addressing medical conditions appropriately. Masturbation is not among the factors that harm your hormonal balance. Understanding these facts allows you to make informed decisions about your sexual health without unnecessary restrictions or anxiety. Your body is designed for sexual pleasure throughout your lifetime, and normal masturbation supports rather than undermines your overall health and vitality. These 6 myths have weighed down men for decades, filling natural sexuality with shame, fear, and doubt. Yet scientific evidence is clear. Masturbation is safe, healthy, and beneficial for most men throughout their lives. Your sexuality does not disappear after a certain age. It evolves, can deepen, become richer, and serve as a renewed source of closeness and confidence. Accepting your body and desires is not only physical but also essential for emotional well-being. Sexual life after 60 is not the end but a new stage, where you still have every right to pleasure, intimacy, and connection. Masturbation helps preserve blood flow, supports hormonal balance, relieves stress, and keeps you in touch with your body. Knowing these truths frees you from outdated cultural myths and helps you approach yourself with strength. Remember, over 90% of men masturbate regularly, and this has nothing to do with weakness or inadequacy. You are not abnormal or unhealthy. You are using a natural tool your body provides for health and balance. Your sexuality is not a burden, it is a resource. Even later in life, it can bring energy, peace, fulfillment, and resilience. Shame and silence have caused more damage than masturbation ever could. By letting go of myths and speaking openly about sexual health, you strengthen your well-being and help break a cycle of misinformation that has lasted for generations. Your body is designed for pleasure, and it continues to offer that at every age. Regular sexual activity, self-exploration, and acceptance of your needs are investments in confidence, relationships, and quality of life. Reclaiming this part of yourself affirms your right to feel strong, vibrant, and sexually alive well into later years. Take ownership of your health, embrace your desires without guilt, and remind yourself daily, your sexuality is still part of who you are and it deserves to be celebrated. not hidden.